Hello and welcome to Film with Family. I'm Zach,
And I'm Austin.
and we are two cousins who love to talk about movies. Today we are doing a quick episode on John Wick Chapter 4.
Let's go.
We got a lot of complaints that our episodes are too long, so we're going to do a quick wick, okay? Hope you guys like it. First off, I saw this movie a couple days ago in the theater, and I had a great time. Wow, what a picture.
My ticket cost $14. I went in there in the AMC. I went to McGuffin's. I got a warm cup of Pinot Grigio for $19.
Wow, I paid $12 for my tickets, and I had a 32 ounce of Two Hearted. And so, how do you like the movie?
I thought it was great, but I'll never see it again.
Okay. I also liked it as well. Had a great time. Keanu Reeves is in this movie. He is incredible. He does all of his own stunts. The action in this film is on another level, and I'm not kidding. There are some incredible action sequences in here. Austin, what was your favorite action sequence?
The German guy, Killa, with the gold teeth. He's a perfect Bond villain. He's playing cards. There's people getting sliced up with cards.
Yeah, Scott Adkins plays Killa, who's actually a not fat guy, but it looks like they put him in a fat suit, a la Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Yeah, he's a lot of fun in this movie. You know who else is really fun in this movie? Donnie Yen, who plays a blind assassin, Kane. And, I love Donnie Yen. He also played a martial artist who was blind before. In what movie? Can you guess?
I don't know.
Star Wars Rogue One.
Wow. Is he blind in real life?
He is not blind in real life, but he's convincing as a blind guy. And he is awesome in this movie. He has some great action sequences. I love when he's like sticking all those little motion sensors down.
Yep. The doorbells.
The doorbells, that was awesome.
Ding dong. Who's there? Donnie Yen.
And he's gonna kill you.
He's gonna stab you with his cane, even though he's got no eyes.
You know who else is in this movie? Bill Skarsgård. He kind of plays this French bad guy.
I don't know about you, but I would say that he's got it.
Yes. And you know what? He is brother to Alex Skarsgård of The Northman. And his dad is also an actor, Stellan Skarsgård. They're big in Hollywood right now. I love the Skarsgårds. Bill's a lot of fun in this movie.
Yes.
Also kind of Bond villainy. And we got to mention those stairs. How about all those stairs that he flew down?
Just falling and falling and falling and falling down the stairs. No attempt whatsoever during the platforms to slow himself down in any way, shape, or form. Just intentionally, it seems, falling and falling and falling down the stairs.
I don't know about you, but I was cracking up at that part. I thought that was hilarious.
This movie had some great laughs. I was cracking up throughout the whole thing.
You know when he falls out the window and smashes into that van, that like big wide angle shot?
Yeah.
That was a laugh for me and my buddy who I saw this with. But no one else in the theater laughed, and we felt a little weird because no one laughed, but we thought it was a really funny shot.
Looked like it hurt a lot.
What else we got here? We got there's that other great shot from a top-down perspective, and it's just like this roving camera, and it feels like a John Wick video game. I don't know if you ever played Hotline Miami, but it's giving me flashbacks of that game. That was an incredible long take shot that really impressed me.
Yeah, and then you've got the heavy armor guys with the scary face masks coming in and shooting up in the art gallery. Lots of cool like stabbing under the neck action going on.
Yeah. And I really like the chick that plays Donnie Yen's daughter, and
Fantastic.
she's like on that guy's back and just like keeps stabbing him, and he's like crawling up the stairs and he just keeps stabbing him.
God, yeah, where she's climbing up the guy's back with knives. It's incredible.
Yeah, that part was one of my favorites.
This movie has every kind of weapon that you can imagine. We got swords, we got nunchucks, we got bows, arrows,
Guns,
semi-automatic weapons, we got regular old pistols, we got
cars, vehicular weapons.
probably the most badass weapon of all, the dragon's breath gun.
Oh,
The fire gun.
I forgot about this.
He's got a fucking gun that shoots fire at people and makes them explode in fire.
Little fiery explosions with every shot. Super satisfying.
We got axe throwing in this one. We got dancers everywhere who are completely unfazed by the violence that's happening around them.
Oh yeah, that was funny too.
One of the strongest parts of this movie, I think, are all the fun settings. I feel like I'm going through different levels in Soul Calibur or Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the dancing room and you've got the art gallery and you've got the steps, all these different stages.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that John Wick, the whole series, does really well is this whole Every action sequence feels like it has like a theme to it, or like the setting really defines how the fight's gonna go. I know in the third one there's that incredible knife sequence that is really great, but yeah, themed battles, that's what John Wick's great at.
Yes.
John Wick, who's played by Keanu Reeves, he doesn't say too much in this movie now, does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about Morpheus himself,
Lawrence
Lawrence Fishburne,
making a return.
in a fantastic role. He's just really hamming it up and having a great time. It seems like he's just having the most fun. When you first see him, he walks in, he's like, I got your suit, and then lights all those trash cans on fire and is just like, let's go.
He's great in the series. You also got that guy that's in from Deadwood, but I feel like he was a little bit of dead weight in this movie.
Absolutely.
He was not bringing the energy. I felt like get him out of the movie. He was boring me, even though I like that actor in Deadwood so much. But in this movie, he's a bit of a dud. Deadwood.
Couldn't agree more, Zach. I think it was the worst part of this movie. I think any scenes where it was him and Skarsgård talking, I was like, get out of there. The biggest mistake that this movie made was shooting Lance Reddick and not him.
Right. Lance Reddick, who gets rudely killed just a week after he dies in real life. They should have cut that scene or made him so he's still alive. That was rude.
Yes, it was a little off-putting to see the man die in front of us.
Yeah, it's like, damn, this really happened. I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
Is this how he actually died?
Oh, and then we can talk about Mr. Nobody and his dog.
Oh yeah, he was good too. It harkens back to the first movie because John Wick had a dog, and famously the dog was killed. And I would have liked to seen like a scene of Keanu like petting the dog and like having a flashback to his own dog. That felt like a bit of a missed opportunity.
They brought it back around in the end with the dog in a really good way, but I won't reveal it because y'all have been complaining about us spoiling stuff too. So we won't be doing that either in the Quick Wick.
Right.
Other than Lance Reddick dying. I'm sure we've spoiled a bunch of stuff already at this point. We're going too fast. I'm sorry. Keep up.
We should say that you're not a big fan of the guns in this movie, or you just don't like guns in general.
I don't like guns in general. I think if you own a gun, you shouldn't. I am strongly opposed to guns. And let us just for a moment talk about how yesterday there was a awful shooting in Nashville and that we need common sense gun control, and it's awful. In terms of this movie, I think that obviously this movie doesn't work if you don't have guns. The whole thing is that John Wick uses guns.
Gun fu, they call it.
That said, the best parts are when he's using the knives, they're using swords, they're using
The
nunchucks, they're using everything but the guns. I feel like at the end, when they're just using the duel and it's just one bullet at a time, that kind of is a stronger statement, I think, than just having fucking guns blasting the entire time. And the other thing that I really don't like about this movie is these Kevlar suits. I don't believe that all he has to do is kind of lift it up over his face and like that's good enough protection. So it's like this flawed element in the whole movie is that you have all these guys wearing Kevlar suits and like that's supposed to make it so you can just shoot like crazy throughout the entire movie and in every scene indiscriminately, and they don't die right away.
It is a ridiculous movie. All the things that John Wick does and is like unfazed from is totally unbelievable. So I could kind of forgive it because it's like at this fantasy world where like John Wick can fall from a huge building and crash onto a car and exactly. Shake it off.
Suspension of disbelief. It's a movie. That's why we love going to the movies. It's a big, fun action film. I had a great time watching it. I fell asleep in John Wick 3. I don't really remember anything about that movie except the first 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie held my attention a lot better. I had a really good time.
It's almost 3 hours. It's not a quick wick, even though this episode is a quick wick. This is a long wick movie.
It's a very long wick. I think that if they just strung every single fight scene together and cut out all the dead weight, as you mentioned.
There's definitely a lot of boring kind of dialogue scenes that kind of feel redundant, especially if you've watched the previous John Wick movies. It's a lot of like, I'm on the run. Like boring platitudes about death and killing, and it's like, all right, we've heard all this stuff before, get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but there is some great stuff in here and it is a good time.
It's a really good time. See it in the theater. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to be seeing this movie again.
Or any John Wick movie again.
Possibly.
I've never seen 2, which is weird. Somehow I skipped 2, but I've seen all the other ones. I want to go back and watch 2 just to complete it.
But honestly, I don't feel like you really need to. I had no idea why anybody is looking for anybody, or what the reasoning for them wanting to kill John, or John wanting to kill Kane, or Kane wanting to kill him. I knew there was like the high table. You got Sarsgaard, you got a very clear villain, and you've got clear Wick. I mean, that's all you really need. You could go into this movie not knowing a single thing about the first 3, and you'd have a fine time watching it.
It really is all about the action, and the action is so competently choreographed and shot. I'm excited to see what this director does post with the Wick series, just because he's great at filming action. You know, they're nice wide shots, long takes, so you can tell what's happening. It's not this shaky cam zoomed in, heavily edited bullshit. It's clear cut action, which I have a lot of respect for.
Absolutely. Well said. I think that the action in this movie is unprecedented. I think the only thing maybe you can compare it to is a movie like Raid 2. The action in this film is unbeatable, kind of.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. If you don't like seeing thousands of people getting murdered by Keanu Reeves, then maybe you can skip it. One other thought is my buddy had a good joke who I saw it with. There's this whole bit, it's like, what would you like on your gravestone? And Keanu's like, loving husband. My buddy was like, it should say his kill count, because he kills a lot of guys.
Yeah. John Wick, loving husband, murderer of thousands.
Yeah, literally 50,000 people. I think he should be more proud of that than his loving husband skills. Yeah, I saw somewhere that they might make another John Wick movie just because this movie's doing so well at the box office, even though it was supposed to be the last one, which I'm like, come on, you gotta end it.
Yeah, it's over.
Just wrap it up. And that's our episode on Quick Wick.
We love our family.
And we love the movies.
Subscribe
and rate the podcast. We also are on social media at Film with Family on Instagram and Twitter.
We also have an email at filmwithfamilypodcast@gmail.com.
Send us an email. What were your thoughts on John Wick? Quick. Me and Austin are also on Letterboxd, Zachary's Weifler, and Austin C. Pruitt. Follow us there if you want to see what other movies we're doing. If you want to re-listen to this episode a little bit faster, just replay it at 1.5 or 2 speed. We'll see you next week on Film with Family.